Hello, my loves, and welcome to another collective reading on the day before the Cancer New Moon. We do have a Cancer New Moon coming up tomorrow. We just entered Cancer season, which officially starts the summer. Expect for the next 4 weeks to be emotional, wavy, moody, and I'm not even mad at it, right? I just posted a quick little mini guide on my TikTok about, a practical guide to navigating Cancer season, but I will be uploading that video here as well if you want to check that out. But we're going to hop right into this collective reading. Ciao. And pray for everybody in the tri-state area. If you're experiencing that heat wave, stay cool, drink your water. I grew up in Las Vegas, so these heat waves ain't nothing really new to me. No tea, no shade. But I know that ain't everybody's regular. You know what I mean? So with that in mind, stay cool, drink your hot water, stay hydrated, stay indoors, keep it cool. And I think the difference between like Las Vegas heat or like southwestern heat, I'll call it, is that it's like dry. It's arid. It being like 100 degrees and humid is absolutely crazy, right? But without further ado, please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. Or ask your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels to assist you with the reading that I'll be delivering. It is my intention to align us all with healing, joy, and the most authentic versions of ourselves. And I pray that we are blessed with the gifts of wisdom and discernment so that we are able to identify what is right for us and what is not, so that we may be able to proceed in alignment with our highest and greatest good. Ashe. And I pray that our minds, bodies, and spirits are protected as we move forward. And without further ado, we'll get into this collective reading. What messages does the Most High have for us? Okay, amen. Okay, and pray for the girls who have a hard time breathing with this humid weather. Okay. Luna said, I don't have asthma, but praying for the folks who can't breathe. That's true. Keep your inhalers on stock. And if you want a little herbal tea to help you out with that, mullein. Mullein tea is very good at like opening the pathways to the lungs. The mullein leaf actually kind of looks like a lung, and it has tiny hairs on it that's good to they kind of attract like mucus and toxins in the body and in the lung streams, and it takes them, attaches to them, and carries them away. So, little herbalist tip for the girlies who have a hard time breathing. But what messages does the Most High have for us, please and thank you? I'm using my Mermaid Tarot deck today. This feels right, considering how watery things are. Okay, that's one too many. Okay, so what I'm looking at, it's funny I spoke about this. Hey, Overcome, welcome in. It's funny I spoke about this in my practical guide to Cancer season, but it feels moody, right? There's a lot of conflicting information, and with all the information we have bouncing around, it's making us feel kind of moody. It doesn't feel mature because we have this Page of Cups in reverse. So it's kind of immature. King of Swords is in reverse directly underneath it. So it's like, it's not wise, it's not precise, it's not structured, it's not well thought out. But the emotions are there. And with the Knight of Cups, it feels like the divine wants us to be open to working with our emotions. And I kind of get this sense of leading with the open heart. Right? I'm going to need some clarification because, like, being moody is one thing, but... What's this leading with the open heart about? Okay, so there's a very specific balance. Okay, so Three of Wands in reverse, there are some manifestations that we're waiting to see come through and we're not seeing them. And part of this honestly feels like persistence. It's like we can't see the whole picture. Like it's shadowy, it's misty, and our mood is like we want to jump ship and do something else, right? But this Two of Pentacles just like, don't give it up quite yet. It's okay to like deal with the physical reality, deal with like the information you have bouncing around you. Hey Siri, turn the volume down a little bit. And then she don't want to hear me. Okay. Like it's okay, and this is just an example, right? But it's like you want to make more money, right? And then like you went and had an interview at your job for a position they had opened up, and you haven't heard anything yet from your job, so you're like, okay, it's fine, I'm gonna go find another job, or I'm gonna start a side hustle, or I'm gonna go do something else. And the divine isn't saying, you know, that you shouldn't go look for another job, but the divine is saying that you shouldn't give up on that other position that you're waiting on hearing about, right? I'm getting that it's not that it's not coming through, it's just coming through a little bit slowly, but the divine wants us to stay engaged with the manifestations that we already have in place, with the seeds that we've already planted. If anything, you know, with this Cancer new moon that we have taking place tomorrow, I would like set some prayers and some intentions for having a type of like emotional fortitude, right? Like an emotional through line. Yeah, that like you find a way to emotionally commit or to stick with something even when your physical reality doesn't look the way you want it to, right? Part of this is faith. Part of this is trusting yourself. Part of this is just riding the waves and the ups and downs of life's unpredictability. Yeah, but let me get some more cards. What else does the Most High have for us? Please and thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all double tapping the screen and sharing the live session with your friends and family members. Thank you so much. I love that I'm able to share my gift with as many people as possible. And I thank y'all for sharing this time and space with me. Yeah, there we go. I low-key don't even want to pull any more cards. We have the Moon card and the Justice card, right? The Moon card, Cancer season. The Moon card in the tarot is actually connected to Piscean energy, Pisces. But the Moon card tells us about the things that we can't see, that we can't understand clearly. You know how the moon waxes and wanes, and sometimes there's a full moon and sometimes there's a new moon that we can't see in the sky at all? But the moon is always in the sky. The moon is always orbiting the earth, and it's having an effect on our spirits, right? On our emotional world and on the tides of the ocean, right? Water, ocean, emotions, right? But directly after that, we have the Justice card, right? So again, there's this sense of like balancing and dealing with the facts. What are the facts of the situation? Right? This may not, if this don't apply, let it fly. But this is like a very specific message for somebody. But it's like, there's some type of facts about something you haven't done yet, or something you haven't tapped into quite yet. Like somebody wants to quit or jump ship, and the divine is saying, you haven't done all the work. You haven't fleshed out your plan. If you created a 3-month plan, continue with the plan for the 3 months that you said you were going to do the 3-month plan, right? It's cool to add other things on top, but don't give up on it on month 1.5, right? Or on month 2, just because it's not looking the way you want it to, because there is a part of it with this 7 of Wands that it's a challenge, right? There's the challenge of the plan. There's constructing the plan and then doing the plan, but there are the challenges and the trials and tribulations that pop up in the middle of our plans, in the middle of our organization, in the middle of our manifestations that we have to deal with, right? Wheel of Fortune, and that is absolutely a part of the process, right? When things get rocky, that's not a sign to give up. That's a sign to say, okay, keep going, but what do I learn from this moment as I continue to press forward and to move forward with my plan? This water is good. Yeah? Okay. Okay, I felt like that was all the clarification that I needed, actually. But now we're going to move on and get an action from the Most High. What's our action plan, please and thank you? Okay. Again, like money and material loss continues to come through, right? Somebody like maybe having car issues. If it don't apply, let it fly, right? But now I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. And there's some type of like material loss or some material like, I don't want to say boredom. Okay. Okay. Not Bree said her car was totaled. But some material stagnancy, right? There's some type of material stagnancy. There's some type of like material possession that hasn't grown, or you grow to a certain point, but then you kind of get knocked back down with this Ten of Wands and the Six of Cups in reverse. And then like this upset, right? It feels like that this upset isn't about you like not necessarily having this material good, not having this money, not having this resource. Take this with a grain of salt. Death card in reverse, Star card in reverse. This feels like being able to manifest and materialize not in the way that you necessarily want to, if that makes sense, right? This Death card is saying that there's that like, and we have the Tower card next to it, that there is something that the divine took away from you. There is something that like, again, we're going to use Bree's example of a totaled car. Your car was totaled and now you don't have that. That's not a part of your material reality anymore. Right? But this Star card is in reverse. And the divine is asking you, right, what can you manifest, or what will your future look like? Or how do you have to pivot in your plan and your structure that you, or the outline you've created without that car, right? This isn't a sign to give up on the plan or to give up on your aspirations and say, okay, I can't continue until I have a car. This is saying, okay, what other resources, tools, friendships, relationships are available to me to fulfill the need of a car without one? Does that make sense? Right? Because the Star card is in reverse, but it feels like the divine is trying to show us that there are always multiple realities present. There are also multiple timelines that we can step into at any point in time. So it really feels like expanding your vision, expanding your point of view, expanding your mind's eye to what is possible outside of what you've already created and outlined. Yeah, does that make sense? Exactly. Yes. Luna says, God never takes anything or asks you to surrender to something or to surrender something if they aren't about to replace it with better. That's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Luna. Right? In some ways, right, this just came to me. This could be about like releasing emotional comforts, right? I know that's a hard thing to say in the middle of Cancer season, but there are emotional things that keep us comfortable, that keep us safe, that keep us protected, but they kind of keep us locked in the same place, right? So some of those emotional comforts, especially during Cancer season, that make us feel good, that make us feel safe, that feel like they're a part of our foundation, we can sometimes, trap ourselves. Okay, Ashe, Luna said, I lost my apartment after 12 years, but this is a stepping stone to becoming a millionaire. Ashe. Regardless of what I have to surrender, I'm willing to let it all go to get into full alignment. Hello, somebody. Excuse me, Truth Burp. Hello, somebody. Right? I was also listening to B. Simone's podcast with their friend, and they were talking about, having to be born again, right? Having to release the old version of yourself and everything attached to that version of yourself. Your diet, your routine, your habits, your belief systems, your comforts, your discomforts, right? And you have to develop new comfort zones and new ways of existing and new places to live so that you can step into this new version of yourself. Okay, nothing and no one can stop this, not even me. Ashe. say, this is destiny. Me being a millionaire is destiny. Building a community is destiny. Those affirmations are beautiful. Thank you. 5 of Wands. I'm hearing you can do hard things. I'm hearing you can do hard things. 5 of Wands, Sun card in reverse. 8 of Pentacles upright. King of Pentacles in reverse. What else is it? Four of Wands in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse. Wheel of Fortune upright. 3 of Cups upright. Yes, again, so like starting off with what I'm sensing with this, you know, I can do hard things. That's this 5 of Wands energy. There's that, the challenging of the self. Thank you, Mick. There's the challenging of the self. And sometimes when we challenge ourselves, it's so funny that this Sun card in reverse, it feels like something that we don't want to do. Right? It's like, I don't want to get a second job, or I don't want to have to move in with my parents, or I don't want to have to ask my cousin for a ride, or I don't want to take the bus. I don't want to insert whatever it is. I don't want to have to stop eating dairy. There's something that you don't want to do because it feels like it's infringing upon your freedom, right? It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel great, right? But there's something about this hard work, about this discipline with this 8 of Pentacles that I feel like our collective is learning at this moment, right? When it comes to becoming the King of Pentacles. Right now, the King of Pentacles is in reverse. But the lesson is that, like, sometimes we have to do hard things. Sometimes we have to do difficult things to get to where it is where we want to be. Sometimes there's actually like a challenge, there's a challenge present that's arduous, that's tough, that doesn't feel like freedom. It actually feels like constriction, right? There's kind of like this Saturnian energy. I believe that Saturn and Neptune are having a conjunction right now. And then the Sun and Mercury, they'll be squaring off with Saturn and Neptune, both transiting the sign of Aries, right? And then later on, I know Jupiter is going to be doing something as well, because I know we have a Sun and Jupiter conjunction later on this week, which kind of expands things. But again, back to this reading, what I'm picking up on, especially with this 4 of Wands in reverse, next to this Queen of Wands in reverse, there's this, like this broad, shining image of light that I'm getting, and it's like putting shades on. It's putting shades on, right? You want to see how the sun lights up your world. You want to see everything in the full flesh color. And putting the shades on, it's not hard. It's not difficult, right? But putting the shades on, it protects your eyes. It puts a certain color lens over everything that you're seeing, you know, but there's a reason for that. There's a good reason. You can stay in the sun longer. You can protect your eyes when we wear shades. This is such an interesting metaphor that I'm receiving, right? That the unabashed and the relentless, the untethered freedom of the sun and the sun's rays and the brightness. But when we put shades on, we get to stay in the sun, but we see the same things differently. We see the same things differently. We see our same surroundings differently. We see our same surroundings in a different way, right? Then we have the Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Cups. It's time to do that. It's time to see our world through a different lens. It's time to see our world with new eyes. It's time to adopt a different perspective, right? That's digging up that like star card in reverse we saw earlier. And then with this 3 of Cups, it's time to do it with other people. Maybe not with other people. Maybe not with other people, but to view other people ourselves, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up that it's like it's time to see our friends differently, our jobs differently, you know, our parents, our siblings, our emotional community differently. People don't know freedom because they don't know their emotions. We experience freedom when we begin to release what doesn't serve us and ish we've been carrying. Yes. And the other thing this is reminding me of And then we have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, right? Both of these like community, you know, working together, you know, collaborative, trine, triple, 3 type cards are speaking about like just collaborating with different people and different things, right? This is an example I learned earlier this year, and the divine is guiding me to talk about it, right? Truth burp. So one of the things that like I learned earlier is about like understanding freedom, right? That like freedom is the choice to do whatever it is that you want to do, not just the things. Freedom is the choice to do any and everything, not just the things that you want to do, if that makes sense, right? Because like I love, you know, when I was staying with my grandmother, I love like, or this is the way that I typically do things. Like I go eat my food and then I go leave my dishes in the sink. And then at the end of the night, I'll go back and wash them. Right. But when I was staying with my grandmother, she didn't like that. And I was staying with my grandmother. And true freedom isn't getting to do what I wanted to do. True freedom wasn't, you know, getting to wash the dishes at the end of the night. True freedom was being okay with switching my routine, switching my way of living, and having the freedom to say, I'm going to do something else in this moment for a specific period of time, right? And after that 3-month period was over, I was able to go back and do the way that I like to do things and the way that I wanted to do things, right? There's that flexibility there of like, what's the appropriate way of operating at this stage in my life? Yeah. What's the appropriate way of operating with my friendships, my coworkers, my colleagues, my peers, in myself at this stage in my life, right? And I'm getting that the call is to not to figure out or to answer that question from a place of comfort, but from a place of growth, from a place of development, from a place of where I want to go and where I want to be, not where I am right now. Not what feels good right now, but what I want and what I desire actually in the future. Yes, my loves? Thank you. Okay, that was it. I'm going to get us some oracle cards, and that'll conclude tonight's collective reading. If you're still hanging out with me and you'd like a reading of your own, if you want to get deeper, more personal, you want to know what's for you and what's not for you, please send 10, 15, or 20 over to my Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. And let me see. Let me move this mic a little bit so I can see all of my tarot cards. All of my tarot cards, girl. Let's see which ones are speaking to me. You know what I got to get back? I got to get back my, because a lot of my tarot decks are in storage right now. I need my Moonology Oracle deck. That one always gets me right. Hello, Haisa. Ooh, excuse me. Yes, I know we have Mick on the list. Thank you for the gift, Ella. I appreciate it, my love. Okay, I'm going to get us some oracle cards and we're going to close out. Yeah. But if you're still hanging out with me, please check out my practical guide to navigating. That was quick. My practical guide to navigating Cancer season. That is on my TikTok account and it'll be on my YouTube account by the end of tomorrow. But yes, there's quite a lot of oracle cards the divine wants me to get, but we gonna get them all, okay? What else does the divine have for the collective? Peace and thank you. Precious time. I just love the work that I get to do. I appreciate y'all sharing this space and this time with me. I really do. Okay, and we got one more deck. Drop an emoji for me. How are you feeling? How are y'all feeling this Cancer season? Please drop an emoji in the chat with how you're feeling. If I were to choose one, I choose the, what is it? I think it's like a smiley emoji. where there's like smoke or like steam surrounding them. Because I kind of feel like, not fog that I'm moving through, but I feel like sometimes I'm feeling like really hot-headed and like motivated, but sometimes I'm kind of like slow and moody, kind of like a sauna, like a wet sauna. Right? Luna gave us a rainbow unicorn. I know that's right. Haisa gave us the upside down smiley face and that one. And Bray gave us the nervous laughter. But let me read this. Oh, this is interesting. We have Long Bubby Susie Shame. This is from the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. The Shadow of Temples and the Element of Fire. Long Bubby Shuzi keeps the children of Belize terrified. Viewed as a shadow monster, she has the power to kill or to nurture with her long, scary breast that contain milk and poison. This beautiful Afro-Indigenous spirit may be a distortion of the Arawak Taino moon goddess, Atabi. Long Bubby Suzi's shadow guidance. You are beautiful and loved. Every part of you in your journey is beautiful. Even the ugliest moments. You have a heart, soul, and breath. That makes you beautiful. And then the embodiment. You are secretly scared that you are not enough. Shame is lying to you. You are not broken, unlovable, ugly, or unworthy. Shame keeps you small and hiding. Accept yourself now. You are a bright light. Allow yourself to see who you really are. You are doing the very best that you can. You are lovable and you are complete. And the goddess declaration is, I am protected. What I'm picking up from this card intuitively, in addition, is that there are some ways that like we comfort ourselves emotionally, right? Some emotional coping mechanisms that we return to because of shame. Because there's a part of ourselves, because there's a part of our shadows that we don't like, that we don't want to address, that we don't want to think about, that we don't want to accept as ours. And all the parts of you are beautiful, even the flawed portions. Yes, my love. Okay, Luna said she ran through the sprinklers twice. I know that's right. Okay, up next we have Precious Time. The Fairy of Time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. I don't know. This one might be for me. I'm feeling this one a lot right now. Let me get my face behind the card so it'll focus. Are you a clock watcher? Or does it feel like the days are passing you by? The Fairy of Time wants you to experience every moment fully, even in peaceful solitude or meditation, to make the most of your time on earth and to celebrate the magical gift of life, Ashe. With time comes age, and with age often comes wisdom, which makes wisdom a precious gift from time if we've learned the lessons that time has gifted us. Perhaps you feel as though you never have enough time to do all the things you need to. But it's our attitude to time that dictates the way that impacts our lives. In fairyland, time isn't linear. So fairies don't feel the same restrictions and confines of time that we experience here in the human realm. If you're governed by time and you are always glancing at your watch, try taking it off and notice how it makes you feel. Feeling free within time is a beautiful experience. Be aware of time, but don't be ruled by it. And always make time for yourself. This card could also be saying that you're about to learn a timely lesson. It's also important to respect the time of others. Are you always fashionably late? If so, set your alarm a little earlier, arrive on time, and surprise everyone. That was definitely me. I definitely needed that one. Now, I don't be late. I don't be tardy to the party. But, I do be wasting my time. Well, I'll do it later. I'm going to scroll on TikTok and I'm going to watch this YouTube video and I'm going to play my video game and I'm going to take a nap and where there's so many things that I need to be doing and just using my time efficiently. Right? But last but absolutely not least, we have celebrate your wins. Let me flip this so y'all can see the card for real. Celebrate your wins. Essential meaning. A time to list accomplishments, allowing praise, feeling deep pride, knowing that you are deserving of positive attention. The self-care message. Acting as if wins are no big deal. Focusing on what didn't work instead of what did. Not taking the time to see what's working. Being overly salesy instead of drawing people in through celebrating your process. Not sharing genuine excitement for your project. You've earned a few golden stars that you haven't given yourself enough credit for. And it's time to indulge in some serious self-praise with some lavish celebration. Go all out. Look for the wins you've had and focus on everything you've accomplished. Write it down. See the progress you've made. Because you've come a long way, baby. It can be far too easy to ruminate on what's not working, and as a result, some of your amazing work gets shrugged off, downplayed, or downright missed. Are you able to see the tremendous strides you've taken? It's okay to boast and to flaunt a little bit. Sometimes you need to. How easily can you communicate your triumphs to others? Do you invite them to partake in your celebration? This card isn't suggesting a fugly, pushy, salesy, look at me kind of cock-a-doodle-doo. It's sharing your wins in order to energetically bring you more of the same. Take a big breath in and gracefully and authentically accept the fact that you were on the right track and ready to rock. And then the journaling or meditation prompts are, have you ever thrown yourself a party? What would close friends and family say your best qualities are? Your greatest gifts? Go ahead and ask them. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, ask yourself why. Yes, my loves? Okay. That concludes tonight's collective reading. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me tonight. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. And as always, if you need extra clarification on which messages were specific for you or what you actually need to be focused on during this Cancer season, link in my bio, link in the description bar to book a private reading with me. But yeah, I'm going to move on to these mini readings on the Clack app. But for those of you on YouTube, I love y'all and I'll talk to y'all later. And until next time, the Sex Mo. Bye. I holla, girl. And again, feel free to watch another video. What, you got another 10 minutes? Maybe not. You just got a message about using your time wisely. So maybe that should be the next thing that you should be doing. No tea, no shade.